Welcome to our channel where we celebrate the power of stories to inspire and uplift the human spirit. Join us today as we share 3 brand new stories about ordinary people who find magic in unexpected places. Story 1: The Cabin Beyond the Pines, far away from the clamor of the city. Nestled amidst towering pines that whispered secrets to the wind, lay a small mountain cabin. It was a place untouched by time, its wooden walls bearing silent witness to countless seasons, its roof a familiar sight against the canvas of changing skies. For Sarah, it was more than just a cabin. It was a sanctuary, a refuge that held echoes of her laughter from long ago, a time when life's burdens were lighter and dreams stretched endlessly before her. Now, years later, with the weight of responsibilities pressing down on her, she found solace in the promise of a solitary weekend at the cabin. As the Friday afternoon drew to a close, Sarah packed her bags, each item a testament to her need for this escape. She drove, the familiar route taking her deeper into the embrace of the mountains, the road eventually yielding to a rugged path leading to the cabin. The moment she stepped out of her car, the tranquility of the surroundings enveloped her. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of pine and damp earth. The sky, a vast expanse of blue dotted with clouds that sailed leisurely overhead. It was a sight that soothed her soul, reminding her of simpler times. As dusk began to settle, casting long shadows among the trees, Sarah found herself standing before the cabin door. Its weathered wood seemed to welcome her home. With hands that trembled slightly, she reached out, the brass knocker taking the shape of a pine cone in her trembling grasp. A deep breath, a knock, then another, and then the door swung open, revealing a darkness that was inviting rather than intimidating. With a smile gracing her lips, she stepped inside. The interior was a study in contrasts. The heavy wooden beams overhead, the rough-hewn stone hearth below. In the center of this rustic abode sat a small table illuminated by the soft glow of a lamp. Upon it rested a steaming kettle and a cup, an unspoken invitation to warmth and comfort. The silence of the cabin was not oppressive, but rather comforting, broken only by the gentle crackle of the fire and the rhythmic tick-tock of an old clock somewhere in the recesses of the house, each sound contributing to a symphony of solitude that resonated with her soul. As the fire crackled merrily, casting dancing shadows on the walls, Sarah settled into a chair, her eyes, half closed, basked in the firelight, a contented sigh escaping her lips. There was an inexplicable magic in this place, a potent elixir of timelessness that seemed to weave its way into one's being. She stood up, drawn to the window. Outside, the night had deepened, the stars like diamonds scattered on a velvet cloth above. The moon, a silver sickle, hung low in the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the landscape. Gazing at the night sky, she felt a profound connection to the universe, a humbling awareness of her place within its grand tapestry. A sudden gust of wind rustled the pine branches outside, momentarily obscuring the starlight. The trees, once mere background to her solitude, now seemed to be reaching out, their branches forming a canopy of green arms enveloping her in their embrace. As the hours slipped by, the fire slowly dwindled, the shadows lengthening. With a soft sigh, Sarah rose from her chair. She moved to the hearth, tending to the dying embers. In the flickering light, she saw not just dying embers, but the fading fragments of worries, fears, and anxieties that had shadowed her for weeks. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the windows, chasing away the remnants of the night. Waking refreshed, Sarah felt a surge of gratitude for the quiet strength that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the cabin. The solitude no longer felt empty, but full, rich with the music of silence. She got up, her movements fluid with newfound energy. The cabin, once a refuge from the world, now felt like a companion, a silent partner in her journey of self-discovery. She moved through the rooms, each step echoing the beat of her rediscovered purpose. In the kitchen, she found a simple breakfast awaiting her. Bread, cheese, and fresh berries, nature's bounty laid out as if in tribute to the day's promise. As she ate, she planned her day, not with the frenetic energy of a to-do list, but with the calm focus of one who has found their center. The day unfolded like a whispered secret between Sarah and the mountains. She hiked through trails carpeted with fallen pine needles, the crunch beneath her feet a soothing rhythm. The air was alive with the songs of unseen birds, their melodies blending with the gushing of nearby waterfalls. In the heart of the forest, she came upon a clearing. Bathed in sunlight, it was a tapestry of wildflowers, a vibrant splash of color against the emerald green. Sitting on a nearby log, she lost herself in the play of light and shadow, the gentle swaying of the grasses a lullaby to her soul. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Sarah returned to the cabin. The familiar silhouette of the building a beacon of comfort against the darkening sky. Inside, she stoked the fire, filling the room with warmth and light. The flames danced, mirroring the joy that ignited within her. She spent the evening reading, the words on the pages coming alive in the firelight. It wasn't just the story she was reading, it was her own story, a tale of resilience, of finding strength in solitude and wisdom in the whispers of the pines. On the second morning, Sarah awoke to the insistent chirping of birds. Sunlight streamed through the window, illuminating motes that danced in its golden rays. The solitude of the cabin no longer felt isolating, but liberating. It was a space that allowed her to shed the layers of societal expectations, revealing the essence of who she was. She went to the window, breathing in the crisp morning air. The mountains stood stoic and serene, their rugged peaks brushing the sky. In that moment, she understood that true strength wasn't just in confronting the chaos of the world, but also in embracing the peace within it. Her time at the cabin was drawing to a close, but the lessons learned here would echo in her heart long after she left. With a sense of tranquility she hadn't known she possessed, Sarah packed her bags, each item a reminder of the strength and serenity she had found within the cabin's embrace. As she drove away, the cabin shrank in the rearview mirror, yet its spirit expanded in her chest. The journey back was quieter, not in solitude, but in contemplation. The city lights, once beckoning, now seemed distant, their allure replaced by the magnetic pull of her newfound inner peace. Back in the city, surrounded by the familiar, Sarah was transformed. The noise and chaos seemed muted, the demands and expectations softened. She carried within her the quiet strength of the mountains, the solace of the pines. And so life went on, but not as before. For Sarah, the cabin beyond the pines had become more than just a place. It was a state of being, a testament to the transformative power of solitude and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Thank you for joining us on this journey through stories. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. And hey, why not share your thoughts in the comments? Your support means the world to us and inspires us to keep bringing these stories to life. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, there's magic in every story if you just take the time to listen. There was a traveler who loved to explore new cities. He walked everywhere, even in the most remote villages. He would lose himself in the narrow streets. He looked into every nook and cranny, never missing anything. One day, while wandering around, he came across a strange library in a narrow alley. It was very old, with thick walls and high windows. It must have been built hundreds of years ago. At the entrance hung a sign with faded paint that read, "Knowledge is power." The traveler opened the door and stepped inside. He noticed a woman sitting behind the counter. She was reading a book, but when she saw the traveler, she closed it and asked, "Can I help you?" Her voice sounded like wind chimes in the breeze. The traveler felt as if he had known her for a long time. "I'm sorry to bother you," he said. I just couldn't help but notice this library. It seems so old, almost magical. The woman smiled gently. This library is timeless, she said. Here, time flows differently. The traveler sat down at the counter and asked, "May I look around?" "Of course," the woman replied. "Just be careful not to break anything." She got up from her seat and disappeared through a door in the back. The traveler stood up and walked slowly between the shelves. He ran his fingers along the spines of the old books, their leather covers smooth and worn from countless hands that had come before him. The smell of aging paper filled his lungs, bringing with it a sense of peace and tranquility. He felt as if he had entered a different world, far from the noise and chaos of the outside. In the quiet of the library, the traveler felt a sudden urge to sit down and read one of the books. He pulled one out from the shelf, its pages crackling as he opened it. The words swam before his eyes, written in a language he couldn't understand. As he turned the brittle pages, he felt a connection to the author, someone who had lived and breathed on this earth many years ago, pouring their thoughts and knowledge onto the pages. He spent hours in the library, reading and exploring its endless shelves. As the sun began to set, he realized he had been there for a long time. He closed the book he had been reading and placed it back on the shelf. He couldn't remember why he had chosen that particular book, yet he felt as if it had been written for him. He looked around the library, realizing he had only explored a small part of it. He walked to the back of the room and discovered a door he had missed before. He pushed it open and stepped through. It led to a cozy living room with comfortable chairs and a fireplace. The traveler sat down in one of the chairs and waited for the woman to return. He wanted to ask her questions about the library, but he wasn't sure what to say. As he waited, he noticed the clock on the wall. Its hands were frozen in place, indicating a time that seemed to have stopped. The traveler wondered if this place existed outside of time or if it was merely a hidden sanctuary from the world. He heard footsteps and turned to see the woman approaching. She had a warm smile on her face, and her eyes twinkled with kindness. "Can I help you?" she asked, sensing his curiosity. "Yes," the traveler replied. "I was wondering about this place." "Is it always like this? Do the clocks never move here?" The woman nodded understandingly. "Time is different here," she said. "It slows down and becomes more gentle. Some people come here seeking wisdom, while others simply wish to escape the pressures of the outside world." The traveler felt a sense of relief wash over him. He had been carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders for too long, and now, in this quiet sanctuary, he could finally let go. "How did you find this place?" the traveler asked. "I stumbled upon it while walking through the city," he replied. "It's amazing to think that such a hidden gem exists right in the heart of the bustling city." They talked for a while longer, and the traveler learned that the woman's name was Luna. She had been the librarian of this place for as long as she could remember. "What's your favorite book?" the traveler asked, breaking the silence. Luna smiled mysteriously. "My favorite book is the one that speaks to my soul," she said. "Each person must find their own favorite book, for it is a journey of self-discovery." The traveler pondered her words. He realized that he, too, was on a journey of self-discovery. He had traveled to many places, but he had never found a place that resonated with him like this one. He thanked Luna for her wisdom and said goodbye, knowing that he would carry the lessons he learned here with him for the rest of his life. As the traveler left the library, he felt as if he had discovered a hidden treasure. The ancient books he had read had awakened something within him, a thirst for knowledge and a desire to explore the mysteries of the world. He continued his travels, but he knew that he would always remember his time in the library. The peaceful atmosphere and the wise librarian Luna had touched his soul in a way that he had never expected. From then on, whenever he felt lost or in need of guidance, he remembered the timeless wisdom he had found in the library. He would close his eyes and imagine himself back in that peaceful sanctuary, surrounded by ancient books and the gentle presence of Luna. And so, the traveler continued his journey, forever changed by his experience in the library. He became a seeker of knowledge and a wanderer of the world, always searching for wisdom and understanding. But deep down, he knew that his true home was in the library, where time flowed differently and the secrets of the universe whispered from the pages of ancient books. Now, wherever he went, he carried with him the spirit of the library, the quiet reverence for knowledge and the gentle pursuit of wisdom. Years passed and the traveler grew older, but his passion for learning never faded. He visited many libraries, but none of them compared to the first one he had discovered in that hidden alley. He often thought of Luna, the mysterious librarian who had welcomed him and shared her wisdom so freely. He wondered if she was still there, tending to the timeless library, waiting for new visitors to guide them on their journey of self-discovery. One day, the traveler decided to return to the city where he had first discovered the library. He walked through the familiar streets, his heart pounding with anticipation. He hoped that the library was still there, hidden away from the hustle and bustle of the city. When he found the narrow alley, he hesitated for a moment, unsure if he was ready to step back into that world. But curiosity and nostalgia got the better of him, and he pushed open the creaky door. As he entered the library, he saw Luna sitting behind the counter. Time seemed to have stood still. She was just as he had remembered her, with her kind eyes and gentle smile. "You've come back," she said, recognizing him instantly. The traveler nodded, his throat tight with emotion. "I couldn't stay away," he confessed. "I needed to see if you were still here." Luna smiled knowingly. "This place is timeless," she said. "Those who find it always return." The traveler spent hours in the library, catching up with Luna and exploring the endless shelves. He felt a sense of peace and belonging that he had never experienced before. As the sun began to set, he knew it was time to leave. He said goodbye to Luna, promising to return soon. From that day on, the traveler made it a priority to visit the library and see Luna as often as he could. They formed a deep bond over their shared love of books and knowledge, and the library became his sanctuary, a place where he could escape the worries of the outside world and lose himself in the timeless pursuit of wisdom. Welcome to the Blue Hour. I'm here. And today we have 3 stories for you, 3 stories from all around the world. And each one is unique and special in its own way. So get comfy, close your eyes if you like, and let's dive right in. The sun dips below the horizon, leaving wisps of pink and orange clouds in its wake. The day sighs, stretches out its arms, and slowly drifts into night. Somewhere a cricket chimes, a lone note ringing in the stillness, then another and another until the air vibrates with their song. A gentle breeze whispers through the tall grasses, rustling them into a soft, wordless melody. The world holds its breath, hanging between light and dark, awake and asleep, sound and silence. It's in this precious moment, the hour before the stars ignite, that dreams take flight. So come, dear listener, unlose yourself in the magic of the Blue Hour as we weave tales that shimmer like moonlight on water. Story 1, The Girl Who Spoke to the Stars. Deep in a forest lived a girl named Amara, who was different from others. While children played, she wandered into the woods, talking to trees and flowers as if they were old friends. Villagers whispered that Amara spoke to animals and stars, but no one knew for sure because no one spent much time alone in the whispering woods. One day, Amara sat by a babbling brook watching clouds drift by. Suddenly, a shooting star streaked across the sky, leaving a sparkling trail. "Wait," Amara cried, leaping up. "I want to talk to the stars." She dashed into the woods, not knowing where the star had landed. As twilight deepened, Amara stumbled upon a clearing. There, nestled among the trees, was a small cottage bathed in starlight. Kneeling beside it, she whispered, "Hello, little star. Are you inside?" Just then, the door opened. "Who's there?" asked a tiny voice. Amara gasped. Before her stood a luminous creature no taller than her knee. "Are you the star?" she asked. The creature nodded, its eyes twinkling. "You called me here?" Amara said. "I did," replied the star, "and now I must return to the sky. But before that, I want to show you something." With a wave of its magic wand, the star transformed Amara's simple cottage into a palace of shimmering light. "This is what you can do when you believe in stars," it said, winking. Then with a final flourish, it vanished. In an instant, Amara found herself back at the babbling brook. The whispering woods seemed different now, filled with magic. Amara returned home forever changed. From that day on, whenever the villagers saw a shooting star, they remembered Amara and the girl who spoke to the stars. Story 2, The Painter and the Waterfall. High in the mountains, nestled amidst emerald valleys and snow-capped peaks, lived a painter named Omar, renowned for his landscapes. Omar's canvases burst with colors, yet his heart yearned to capture something more. He sought a masterpiece that would encapsulate the essence of nature's grandeur. One day, while wandering through the hills, Omar stumbled upon a sight that took his breath away. Cascading down a rocky precipice was a majestic waterfall, its waters thundering into a crystal pool below. Mesmerized, Omar set up his easel and began painting. He worked feverishly, driven by an urge to immortalize the waterfall's raw beauty on his canvas. But no matter how many brushstrokes he applied, his painting remained lifeless. Disheartened, Omar decided to rest by the waterfall. Perhaps its magic lay not in its thundering roar, but in its tranquility. As the sun dipped below the mountain peaks, casting long shadows on the rocks, Omar closed his eyes, breathing in the scent of petrichor and pine. In that moment, he heard it, a soft, haunting melody. Opening his eyes, Omar saw a young woman standing at the fall's edge. Her voice echoed with the music of the mountains, each note resonating with the waterfall's rhythm. As she sang, the waterfall seemed to dance, its waters shimmering in time with her voice. Lost in the melody, Omar's heart skipped a beat. This was it, the essence of the waterfall, its spirit. He reached for his easel, his hands trembling with excitement. With renewed vigor, he began painting not the roaring falls, but the woman and the waterfall's harmonious dance. Her song echoed in his heart as he captured her image and the waterfall's ethereal glow on his canvas. Hours flew by unnoticed as Omar lost himself in his art. When he finally paused, the sun had set, replaced by a canopy of twinkling stars. Gazing at his painting, Omar saw not just a picture, but a portal to the waterfall's soul. The woman, sensing his awe, smiled, and in that instant, Omar understood. Sometimes the greatest art lies in capturing the unseen, the essence of a place or a moment, and the melody that binds them together. Story 3, The Sound of a Tide. Alara, a woman in her late 60s, has always loved the sea. Every morning, for as long as she can remember, she has walked down to the beach near her house, greeting the day with the rhythm of the waves. Her days are filled with tending to her herb garden and the small cottage she shares with her cat. But as the sun begins its slow descent, she finds herself drawn to the shore once more. Today, as Alara sits on her usual rock, she feels a deep sense of melancholy wash over her. The rhythmic crash of the waves suddenly feels like a dirge, and she can't shake off a feeling of profound sadness. Lost in thought, she doesn't notice the young woman who approaches, sitting down beside her. "It's a beautiful sunset, isn't it?" the younger woman asks, breaking the silence. Alara startles, realizing she's been completely absorbed in her thoughts. "Yes, it is," she replies, turning to face the setting sun. Together, they watch in silence as the sky turns to hues of orange and purple, the clouds reflecting the dying embers of daylight. After a while, the younger woman speaks again. "I come here often to listen to the sound of the waves," she says. "It's so calming. I find myself always returning to it." Alara nods, understanding the pull of the sea, but tonight, the comfort she usually finds in the waves is absent. It's a strange feeling, she admits. This sound, it's always been my solace, but tonight it echoes in my heart like a forgotten tune. I feel its rhythm in my bones, yet it seems distant, like a half-remembered dream. The younger woman looks out at the vast expanse of the ocean, her gaze fixed on the horizon. Perhaps, she says softly, it's because the tide is going out. The rhythm of the waves changes when the tide shifts, and the sound they make is different. Alara turns to her, a glimmer of understanding in her eyes. Like life, she says, her voice catching. Life ebbs and flows, bringing different sounds and rhythms. Sometimes the melody of the waves is gentle and soothing, like the calm before a storm. And sometimes it's loud and crashing, like the waves during a storm. Just like the tide, our emotions change. We go through periods when the rhythm of our lives is slow and steady, and times when it's fast and overwhelming. It's all part of the music of life. As the last rays of sunlight fade away, Alara leans back, a sense of peace returning to her. The younger woman squeezes her hand gently. Thank you, Alara whispers, realizing that sometimes all it takes is a different perspective to shift the melody of our hearts. And that's all for today's Blue Hour. 3 stories from around the world for you to enjoy. If you like these stories, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more magical tailies every single day. Until next time, happy dreaming.